Of TV23's Internet provided by SWKO Wireless Internet. Covering the High Plains with news, weather, and information. From TV23 Studios in Sublet, this is High Plains Today.
Yes, it is. Just like he said, this is High Plains Today. Welcome, everybody. It's Monday, February 26th, 2018. All right, you know what? On today's show, I'm going to be joined by my good buddy, Gary Classen. He is with the Southwest Realtors as well as Heritage Real Estate. We're going to talk a little real estate today. We're going to talk about housing trends, buyer's market, seller's market, whether you want to have a pet, anything like that. In the meantime, let's see what's happening. 2 Scott City men were killed Thursday night in a plane crash near Ulysses. 68-year-old Daniel Dunn and 64-year-old Michael Steele took off from Ulysses in a plane bound for Scott City. At about 9 p.m. Thursday night, according to the Kansas Highway Patrol, Dunn, who was listed as the pilot of the plane, circled back towards Ulysses for unknown reasons and crashed the 1970 Beech 58 about 5 miles north of the Kansas Highway 25, U.S. Highway 160 junction. The Kansas Highway Patrol report stated that it was unknown if there was a mechanical issue with the plane. 2 men were pronounced dead at the scene. Now, Dunn was a doctor in Scott City for many years before retiring, and Steele was a United States Postal Service carrier. And icy roads are to blame for an accident Thursday morning that injured a Liberal man. The accident occurred around 8 Thursday morning at mile marker 112 on U.S. Highway 56 in Ford County. Chevy Trailblazer, being driven by 43-year-old Douglas Cornejo of Liberal, was eastbound on Highway 56 when he lost control of the vehicle due to icy roads. His vehicle then entered the ditch and rolled. Cornejo was taken to the Western Plains Regional Hospital in Dodge City. And Friday afternoon, a Garden City teen was arrested after striking a utility pole in the 1900 block of East Kansas Avenue. Shortly after noon, Garden City police officers were sent to the accident, and when officers arrived, they located a blue Ford Mustang that had struck a utility pole. Now, the driver was arrested for driving under the influence of drugs and other charges. The investigation revealed the teen was driving westbound on Kansas Avenue in the inside lane when he allegedly passed out from consuming inhalants, crossing the eastbound lanes of traffic and striking the utility pole. A search of the vehicle revealed inhalants, drug paraphernalia, and marijuana. He was arrested and then later released to his parents. And a Holcomb tax preparer pleaded guilty in federal court last Thursday to filing false federal tax returns and agreed to pay restitution of more than $397,000. 60-year-old Marcelino Almaraz has pleaded guilty to 1 count of aiding and assisting in the preparation of a false income tax return and 1 count of filing a false tax return. Almaraz owned Accounting Services, a business that provided tax preparation and accounting services. An indictment issued back in 2016 states that customers came to Almaraz because they had heard he prepared income tax returns that generated large federal income tax refunds. Now, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office, in one case, Almaraz prepared a return for a client claiming 4 grandchildren as dependents, even though the children lived with the man's wife in Mexico. In another case, Almaraz filed a false return substantially understating his own business income. Sentencing is scheduled for May 14th. Almaraz faces a penalty of up to 3 years in federal prison and a fine up to $250,000 on each count. All right, this is kind of appropriate for today. The National Weather Service in Kansas is introducing a new category to its grassland fire danger index this year, catastrophic. The idea is to highlight those days with extreme fire danger, conditions that fall into the historic 99th percentile of fire danger days. Now, it's not something you'd expect to see very often, but when you do see it, there's fire to the ground, and you can expect it to be a large fire. Now, during last March's wildland fire, say in Reno County, fire index surpassed catastrophic 3 times in 1 week. Officials derived the index from a mathematical formula that uses temperature, relative humidity, wind, and amount of greenness in grasses and other growth referred to as curing. Now, the lower the humidity, the higher the winds, and the less green grass, which translates into a higher cure rate, the greater the likelihood that fires will get out of control. We don't need that. And consultants conducting a $285,000 study of Kansas public school finance outlined for lawmakers last Friday boundaries of a report due in March on the minimum investment required to educate students in a manner consistent with the Kansas Constitution. Lloyd Taylor, a professor in the Bush School of Government and Public Service at Texas A&M University, told education committee members why previous comprehensive cost studies were flawed or outdated. The two most influential evaluations applicable to Kansas were published in 2006 and 2011. During the 3-hour meeting, Taylor was dismissive of criticism related to excerpts from Texas court opinions in a 2005 school finance case that indicated her research on behalf of the Texas legislature was not credible and seriously flawed. The report on instructional and administrative costs of operating public schools in Kansas is due March 15th. You know what? The Supreme Court set an April 30th deadline for the legislature to fix the constitutional shortcomings. And last year's public outcry over a proposed Tyson Foods chicken processing plant in Leavenworth County wasn't enough to keep the Kansas Senate from advancing a bill last week that would allow industrial chicken farms to house more birds closer to homes and communities. Senators passed Senate Bill 405 on a 30-9 vote. Now, the bill would increase the number of chickens a producer could have in a concentrated area by changing the formula for determining the number of birds allowable. Kansas State University professor estimated the metric would allow 8 chicken barns to be built together. All right, we'll see where that goes. And finally, a drunken man rode his horse onto a California freeway. Los Angeles news station KABC-TV reports that the California Highway Patrol stopped the man early Saturday on State Route 91 in Long Beach. Officers administered field sobriety tests, which registered blood alcohol levels of more than double the legal limit. The man was arrested and booked for riding a horse while under the influence. I don't know, is that a law? The horse wasn't hurt and was released to the man's mother. California Highway Patrol offered a message to the public on Twitter. No, you may not ride your horse on the freeway, and certainly not while intoxicated. All right, that's a look at some of the stuff that's happening out there. Going to be windy today. Going to be dry. We could be in the critical but not catastrophic fire danger for today. Be back with the weather right after this.
You're watching High Plains Today on TV 23 with host Chris Jewell. TV 23's internet service and 4G live streaming provided by United Wireless. Coverage you deserve. Service you expect. United Wireless.
What if everything worked like those other guys?
Welcome to Awesome Burgers. If you would like to place an order, press 1. Please hold. You will be connected to the next available drive-thru attendant. Please place your order.
Yeah, I get it.
For Awesome Burger, press 1. For orange soda, press 7. For fries, press 15. For tomatoes, press 2. For you have pressed an incorrect button. Please hold. Welcome to Awesome Burgers. If you would like to place an order...
At Pioneer Communications, you can talk to a real person ready to help. Call today for service you can rely on.
You want to feel connected, informed, included, inspired. So when important things happen, we're here. Your local TV and radio broadcasters. America's #1 source for news, weather, and information. On every screen in your life. We are broadcasters. Always here for you, wherever here may be. Text TV to 52886. Tell Washington local stations matter.
Have you been denied credit or hit with high interest rates? A low credit score happens to many of us, and millions of people are victims of incorrect items on their credit reports and don't even know it. That's why you need credit repair now. Our proven process has resulted in past clients seeing on average 11 negative items removed from their credit report and a 40-point increase after the first 4 months in our program. Call now and request your credit report and credit score for free in minutes.
Call 1-800-821-4113.
College is great, but before you enroll, which do you think is a better way to earn your degree? Live on campus in a dorm where you can't sleep, with a roommate you can't stand, attend lectures that you can't hear, with cafeteria food that you can't eat, or learn online at Independence University. On the porch with your puppy, in the kitchen with your kitten, on your bed with your bunny, your campus is wherever you want it to be. That's Independence University. And you'll also get a laptop and tablet to use in school, and you can keep them when you graduate.
1-800-274-8142.
Now, the local weather forecast for the High Plains.
Lots of sunshine out there as we look off to the west on the TV23 tower cam from the ice last week. Got a little dirt left. Man, we need some precipitation, if nothing else, to clean off the TV23 tower cam. All right, here's the readings currently at the station, 56. Now look at this relative humidity, 18%. Dew points are way down there, people. Winds are only out of the south at 7 right now, but they're going to pick up. Barometric pressure falling. Now, as look at the current temps around the viewing area, look at this. Everybody in the 50s, well, Perryton up into the 60s already. A major dry air mass moving through. So that's going to be out of here. It's not going to be quite as dry tomorrow. But you look at these current dew points, 7 in Garden City, 8 in Guyman, 24 in Dodge City. They're going to be a little higher than 18, but everybody is very, very dry. With these winds today, critical fire danger. Looking at the current winds, now we're starting to pick up. Look at 33 in Liberal, 23 down in Perryton, 30 in Garden City. So it's going to be breezy today, and the winds are going to pretty much stay out of the south-southwest today. We're not going to see any clouds with any of this dry air. That is moving through. Now, as we look at the highs and lows as reported at the Garden City Regional Airport, we got 49 yesterday, 82 back in 1989. It was 14 yesterday morning, 0 back in 2003. Yep, you guessed it. Nothing new in the bucket. All right, here's what we got in store for today. Now, we're going to get to 62. Winds are going to be out of the south at about 30 miles an hour. Could be gusting up to 40. Could be even higher than that. Now, you get out to the far southwest corner, Elkhart, you could see 70s today. Now, tonight, with these winds, are going to stay pretty, with all this dry air and this warm air coming through, winds are going to stay pretty high tonight. So we're not going to cool off a whole lot. 32. South winds in the 20s, gusting up into the 30s. And then tomorrow we're going to warm up a little more. 69, but the winds are going to lay down, so not as big a fire danger tomorrow, but they're still going to be out there. South-southwest winds at 14. Then tomorrow night, a low of 28. South winds at 10. Then they're going to switch around to the north-northwest. As we get into the 7-day, you can see, there's not a speck of precipitation on that map. In fact, National Weather Service says we may not see any precipitation through the first week and a half of March. So there you go. That's a look at the weather. Be back. Oh, and you know what? It is time. National Weather Service Storm Spotter training. Our good friend Jeff Hutton, Dodge City. Tonight, he's going to be in Ashland at the Community Center. Then tomorrow night, he'll be at Dodge City at the Sheriff's Office. On Wednesday in Ness City. On Thursday, Waukene at the 4-H building, and on the 5th of March, Montezuma Senior Center. I almost forgot about that, but yep, it's Storm Spotter training time. All right, that's a look at the weather. Be back with Gary right after this.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service. It's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
Hi, I'm Chris Jewell, host of High Plains Today, a 30-minute news and information program that airs at noon weekdays right here on TV23. Hey, do you think you have an idea for something that would make a great segment? Somebody that would make a great interview? What about a community event that needs highlighting? Let us know here at the station. Email us news@kbgltv.com.
When you have credit card debt, the debt suckers, high rate and high pay, never leave you alone.
Debt is really sucking the life out of them. He's picking up the phone.
Oh, no, not consolidated credit.
With one call, they can lower their credit card rates.
And consolidate their bills into one low payment.
They'll pay off their debt in no time.
Call Consolidated Credit now.
Because debt sucks.
Call 1-800-380-8565. That's 800-380-8565. Call now.
Have you been denied credit or hit with high interest rates? A low credit score happens to many of us, and millions of people are victims of incorrect items on their credit reports and don't even know it. That's why you need credit repair now. Our proven process has resulted in past clients seeing on average 11 negative items removed from their credit report and a 40-point increase after the first 4 months in our program. Call now and request your credit report and credit score for free in minutes.
Call 1-800-821-4113. 40 million. That's the number of free phones still available and the number of how many Americans can still get prescriptions free.
Free could be wonderful.
That's why I'm still working at 77 years old to pay off my prescriptions.
I needed to have a prescription filled and I had to leave because I couldn't afford it.
Call now and see what's available for you. Free prescriptions. Over 10 million people get prescriptions free, and the program has expanded so another 40 million can. Free dental. Over 15,000 dentists have provided over $330 million in free dental work. Free cell phones. 40 million free cell phones are still available with free minutes and more.
Free cell phone would change my life right now because it is something I cannot afford to get.
Medical supplies like back braces, knee braces, and diabetic supplies may be covered too. The free RX Plus hotline has saved callers over $12 million on their prescription costs. These free programs are now available to 40 million more people. Call now.
And welcome back. I'm joined in studio today by my good friend, Mr. Gary Classen. You know what? He's the vice president of Southwest Board of Realtors, Kansas Board of Realtors.
Yes, sir.
As well as Heritage Real Estate. You know, we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk a little bit about housing prices, what the interest rates are going to do, buyer's market, seller's market, and you have some fun facts about that.
I do, yeah. One of those strange things you run across. We'll save that one for later.
All right, okay. So right now, and I was looking on, Kansas home prices and values right now, well, Zillow, they have a lot of things on their website. But anyway, they say the median home price in the state of Kansas is $128,400. That high, low?
It's
good,
probably,
bad, otherwise?
It's not a bad price. 20 years
ago,
if you're a seller, yeah, 20 years ago, our average sales price in Liberal was about 85. That's kind of increased now. We're looking anywhere from 103 to 120 on our average sales price right now. So pretty good. Prices overall have come up.
Okay. So now, is it a seller's market now, or would you call it a buyer's market?
I would say it's definitely a good time to buy. Okay. You're not going to steal houses, but you'll get some good deals.
Okay, so...
But it's a good time to sell a house.
All right.
Now.
So talking about that, then, with the tax plan that was put through last December, how is that going to affect things, coming into this new year? I mean, we're 2 months into the new year. I mean, are interest prices going to go crazy? Interest rates?
Interest rates not going to go real crazy. I mean, they may creep up a little bit. Right now you're looking at about 4.125. They could crawl up. I've seen some 4.5s, bumping 4.75, depending. A lot of it depends on your credit, and that goes up and down. I mean, by the time we said this, interest rates have either gone up or down by the time we walk out the door.
It's like the stock market, isn't it?
It really is.
Okay. So, but we get into the 4s. That's not terrible, is it?
It's still good interest. I mean, you're less than 5% on a 30-year loan. So, I mean, paying 5% for 30 years, it's not bad.
No, because you said when you started this back in the 80s, I mean, you're talking 10% or more, right, on some houses?
Yeah, I started in 96. 8% was what the interest rate was at that point in time. And I had listings that people had 18% interest on their house.
18?
18%.
18.
1.8. Yes, that's a true story.
You could get rich just by refinancing. You wouldn't
could.
know what to do with all your money, would you?
You certainly can. Yeah, it's crazy. So a lot of the refinancing, I mean, people are still refinancing. You probably still see some leftovers. People didn't realize that they could refinance. If you figure, general rule of thumb, if you can save about 2% on your interest rate, makes it really worthwhile to refinance, covering your costs and all that, doing that.
Okay. So, but now let's go back to 128,000 median price in the state of Kansas. Let's look at, say, liberal. What is the median price in Southwest Kansas? Say liberal.
In liberal, you're looking at about 103 right now.
Okay. So, say if you went to Garden City or Dodge City, about the same, or is it going to go higher?
It could go a little higher. Garden City market's a little higher than liberal. Dodge, probably halfway in between us.
Okay.
As far as that goes. There's a lot of things going on in Garden City, and I think that drives the market. House prices in general are higher in Garden City than they are in liberal, and there's only a 70-mile difference between us.
So, do property taxes play a big role in housing costs or not?
They do.
When you're looking at buying or selling. I mean, does that play a big is that a big role? Like, oh man, I don't want to look at the taxes on that house. I mean,
it makes a big difference on what people can afford. If you're in an area where those taxes are higher, obviously they put back money every month to go into your escrow account to pay your taxes. And so if your taxes are much higher, there's a lot of extra money going towards that. It's like, oh my goodness, I'm paying $200 a month towards taxes. I can't afford that.
All right. So, and also, okay, here's a big one. Now, when you probably the two biggest purchases in your life are a house and anymore a car or a vehicle, right?
Very much so.
Yes. And you see vehicle pricing. We're going to give you this rebate. We're going to do this. We're going to give you 0%. Blah blah blah. I mean, when you're going to buy a house? What's a rule of thumb on a down payment? Because you don't see anybody going, I'll give you 1% interest for the first 10 years if you buy this new house that we're building over here. That doesn't happen.
You don't get that. You certainly don't. General rule of thumb, you really need to figure need to have 3% of your own money in it. Bankers, obviously, the more money you can put down on a down payment, the lower your monthly payment's going to be, and the more secure,
and the happier they are.
The happier the banker is. They're not worried about, are we going to, lose money on this deal? But there's some really good programs out there. I mean, there are still some 100% loan programs out there.
Oh, there is.
There are.
Okay, so since the Fannie Mae and all that stuff, I mean, are there still some good government programs for getting money?
Certainly so. But they're a lot more restrictive than what they have been. They're going to, they want to know, where you ate lunch 3 weeks ago. And I mean, not really, but they want to know all kinds of information from you. They want to know where this money came from. And sometimes the things that we didn't, even 2 years ago, wasn't a question. They're looking into it really hard.
Oh.
And so it makes it a little more difficult for people to get into a house. So basically what you need to do, make sure you're paying your bills. Don't have any late pays. Don't go 30 days late on something.
Okay.
Because that'll show up on your credit. Makes your credit scores go down.
Okay. All right. So, we got about a minute and a half before Brian says, you got to go. All right. Let's talk one thing, though. We were talking before we went on there, and this is a good thing. Give me the quick 411 on, you see FSBO, for sale by owners versus using local Southwest Kansas Board of Realtor member.
Absolutely. People think realtors cost a lot of money, but statistics show that if you use a realtor, you're going to get more money for your house. It's going to sell faster than if you try to do it on your own. And that's what we're paid to do. We're experts in this field. People that sell their house on their own, they don't do it every day. So we know all the ins and outs, the negotiating, how to price your house, make sure it's priced right, not too high, not too low, just put it in there right. So it sells.
Well, because you're thinking, you guys pretty much know the market as far as square footage. What's the price per square foot, and what you're going to need, and what kind of loans and those types of things are out there, right?
Exactly.
So
statistically, we sell our houses in liberal and Southwest Kansas area within 95 to 97% of what it's listed for.
Oh, that's not bad.
It's pretty good.
Thanks for coming by today, Gary.
Hey, thanks, Chris.
I just learned so much. Thanks, Gary. All right, stick around. I'll be back with some more right after this.
Are you getting the most out of your Medicare plan? Are you sure? Many people with Medicare are eligible for plans that include extra benefits in addition to those found in original Medicare. Benefits like dental, vision, and prescription drug coverage. Call now to see if you're eligible to enroll. The consultation is free with no obligation to enroll. In addition to hospital and medical coverage, at no extra cost, you could also get coverage for prescription drugs, dental, hearing, vision, and more. In many areas, plans with benefits are available with $0 copays for many services, $0 monthly premiums, or $0 deductibles. That's hospital, medical, prescription drug, dental coverage, and more included in one plan with premiums that may be as low as $0 a month. Call now to see if you're eligible to enroll. The consultation is free and there's no obligation to enroll.
Call 1-800-521-3583. That's 1-800-521-3583.
College is great, but before you enroll, which do you think is a better way to earn your degree? Live on campus in a dorm where you can't sleep, with a roommate you can't stand, attend lectures that you can't hear, with cafeteria food that you can't eat, or learn online at Independence University. On the porch with your puppy, in the kitchen with your kitten, on your bed with your bunny, your campus is wherever you want it to be. Heck, you could earn your degree while wearing your PJs or while eating BLT with your baby, because you don't go to college. College goes to you. Complete your courses around your schedule. That's Independence. That's Independence University. No alarm clocks, no snoring roommate, no loud parties keeping you up all night, no note on your door telling you to sleep somewhere else. Instead, learn online at Independence University. Get your degree, but keep your life. And you'll also get a laptop and tablet to use in school, and you can keep them when you graduate. Learn online from professional instructors with real work experience. You get professional support in school and employment assistance when you graduate. Independence U, for an independent you.
1-800-234-3025.
Okay, before we get out of here today, quick, we got like 15 seconds. Fun facts.
Okay,
pets.
fun facts. 61% of people feel it's important to have a pet. They own a pet or plan to own a pet in the future.
Okay.
Okay. And statistics show that 95% of consumers believe it's important for housing communities to have areas for pets.
Those are owners, not landlords, though, right?
That's right, yeah. There's a difference.
Thanks, Gary. All right, let's take a last look at our weather. Hey, it's 58 degrees, relative humidity. Ooh, it went down. It is now 17%. We're going to have critical fire danger today. Winds are out of the south at 18. Barometric pressure is falling. Now we look at the 7-day. There's a lot of sunshine on there. Not a lot of clouds, no precipitation, but we're starting to warm up again as we get into the end of the week. Go out and have a great day, everybody. See you back here next time.
Keep up to date with the latest information from TV23 on our Facebook page, KDGL TV.
College is great, but before you enroll, which do you think is a better way to earn your degree? Live on campus in a dorm where you can't sleep, with a roommate you can't stand, attend lectures that you can't hear, with cafeteria food that you can't eat, or learn online at Independence University. On the porch with your puppy, in the kitchen with your kitten, on your bed with your bunny, your campus is wherever you want it to be. That's Independence University. And you'll also get a laptop and tablet to use in school, and you can keep them when you graduate.
1-800-274-8142.
When you have credit card debt, the debt suckers, high rate and high pay, never leave you alone.
Debt is really sucking the life out of them. He's picking up the phone.
Oh, no, not consolidated credit.
With one call, they can lower their credit card rates.
And consolidate their bills into one low payment.
They'll pay off their debt in no time.
Call Consolidated Credit now.
Because debt sucks.
Call 1-800-380-8565. That's 800-380-8565. Call now.
You want to feel connected, informed, included, inspired. So when important things happen, we're here. Your local TV and radio broadcasters. America's #1 source for news, weather, and information. On every screen in your life. We are broadcasters. Always here for you. Wherever here may be. Text TV to 52886. Tell Washington local stations matter.